Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Chainlink's price chart. And if you remember, in the previous video we were right around this area, and the idea was that we are kind of able to identify a bullish divergence. I think it was on H1 time frame, and it was this one right in here. And I said because of this thing we can say maybe soon we're going to get a move up. However, that's not going to be a long opportunity. No, we need to wait a little bit more and pay full attention to the shape of that move. If we get a slow and choppy move up followed by another move down, and this was the key point, we said if in this phase we manage to get a break of the divergence line, okay, at that point we should probably count on some more downward price action. And unfortunately, as you can see, right at this candlestick we broke the divergence line, which led to what? Some more moves on the downside, about, let's say, like a 10% move. So overall in Chainlink, I'm going to say I was actually wrong in the previous update. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that in terms of short to midterm structure we were like completely wrong and the bullish scenario absolutely got invalidated. I don't really think so. You see, I still believe that we are having a 1, 2, 5 up into wave 3 to about this point, and the current move down, there's a very high chance that it's actually a correction structure into wave 4. And what's next? We are going to hopefully get another strong move up into wave 5. For now at least, I'm not really seeing any special signs invalidating this possibility. That's why I'm going to stick with this thing as long as I'm not proven otherwise. Now, let's go on some lower time frames and see what is happening. And once more, I'm going to argue the same thing that I argued back then. If we get a move up in Chainlink, it's not necessarily going to be a long opportunity. No, I think right now it's just a bit of a waiting game, and we need to wait a bit more and see what the shape of the move on the upside that we are going to get is going to look like. Are we going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, meaning a very strong move without a whole lot of overlapping of the waves? Or maybe we are instead going to get a very slow and choppy move up, which ended between our pullbacks down. You're just constantly able to identify overlapping of the waves. Each of these scenarios can mean very, very different things. This possibility suggests in case that we get like a very slow move up, we are dealing with a correction structure, and after it's over, what are we going to have? If you are a regular viewer, you know the answer: another decent move down. On the other hand, if we get a strong move, okay, that's actually going to be like a very, very optimistic sign, suggesting maybe the low of this correction for wave 4 is already in. Does this mean that we are going to go straight up? Maybe not. You see, what is one very important pattern that has a habit of happening into wave 4? You guessed it right, an A, B, C, D, E, which in terms of Elliott waves, we call it a triangle. And in terms of the subwaves, basically we need to have ABCs for every single wave. There we go. ABC up into D, and this is our final ABC on the downside into our E. Now let's go on the live chart and count subwaves. There we go. So here's the situation. Now I do think you can argue that this is going to be like a WXY in form of a double sigma. However, ideally I really do want to say that this is instead an ABC zigzag, and it might be on a higher degree, into a wave A. And then we're going to have a move up, correction for wave B, and then another move down into C, correction for D, another move down into R. Like basically, I'm trying to tell you, be patient in Chainlink, because this corrective movement might actually take some time and it's going to be like quite annoying. But that's actually the very point of a triangle structure. It's going to be annoying to a degree that is going to shake a lot of short-term traders out. And then guess what? It will be time to have a move on the upside. I promise you, in any market, nothing comes easy. So at any given moment, you should probably consider the most complicated possibilities so you don't really get surprised in case those happen. But pay attention, even according to this complex structure, the low right in here, the final one, is going to be in. It's just the fact that we are going to have some more chopping around. So again, once more, what you want to see in Chainlink is a rather strong move up followed by a consolidation pattern. And then at that point in here, we are going to make new updates and see what's next. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Chainlink's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.